What is that noise?
Can I get Tom's number? Do you have Tom's number?
Yeah,
Tom's.
Tom's on, just talk to him.
Hopefully we don't have any crazy stuff like last week.
I missed it.
Talking to him, there was.
Have to have it one more time so I can see
You
it.
don't want to see
We
it.
got
It was disturbing.
5:30.
Just be the opposite sex or
Are you
something.
guys ready? Janice can lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Jenny David.
Here.
Roger Mayhew.
Yes.
Charles Wiltie.
Here.
Brenda Simmons.
Yes.
Craig Scott.
Item 2, approval of the agenda. I believe we're removing 7F.
Yes.
Any other additions, corrections? Tom, can you hear us okay? This thing's making a weird noise.
I can hear you fine, yes.
Staticky.
I'm not sure. I can't hear it on our end. You guys sound fine to me.
It's green now, or
Good
it's,
now?
it looks like it, but it's making
Alright.
static.
We got this, we got this little noise that comes over it, just kind of a little chirping noise.
There's also.
Sounds like static.
Okay.
You can hear us okay? We can
Yeah,
continue.
we can hear.
Okay.
All right, talk to you later.
Any other additions or corrections, commissioners?
Make a motion to accept the, with addition, change, the changes.
Motion, Commissioner Scott. Did someone support it?
Second.
Support from Commissioner Simmons. All in favor, say yes.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Item 3, declaration of conflicts of interest. Any?
I have none.
Tim, what do you recommend?
It seems like that's happening every time somebody comes in,
Joins.
so it might just be a minor nuisance as people chime in.
Okay. Item 4, review of minutes. We got April 9th, 2024 equalization minutes, meeting minutes.
I reviewed them. I'll make a motion to accept them as presented.
A motion from Commissioner Scott,
I'll support.
support from Commissioner Wiltie. Any further discussion? All in favor, say yes.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Item 4B, April 18th, 2024 committee of the whole meeting minutes.
I've read the meeting minutes and I'd like to make a motion to approve.
We have a motion, Commissioner Wiltie.
Support.
Oh, gosh. Support from Commissioner Scott. Any further discussion? All in favor, say yes.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4C, April 18th, 2024 closed session meeting. I didn't see those minutes. Were they placed in front of
They
us?
were face down.
Here you go. Here's a copy.
Well, oh, we're here. Underneath my- yeah, please.
Give her a back or copy so she can find it.
Did you, yeah, sorry about that. You have to sign it.
Buddy's here.
Okay. Do we have a motion to accept them as presented?
You making the motion?
Yeah, sure. We have a motion
I'll
with
support.
support to accept the closed session meeting minutes as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, public comment on agenda item manners in the room. Any public comment? Any public comment on the phone? Correspondence we received from Saddle Valley Community Mental Health Authority for upcoming events, Crawford County support for Protect Michigan Kids legislation, state court administration related to the sunset and civil infractions, Washtenaw County support of Michigan 211. Michigan Department of Treasury designated assessor. Those have been received and filed.
Can I make a,
Sure,
isn't there a way we can just mute this?
that's what I was
Really
trying,
distracting.
that's what I was
It's not
trying to
gonna
do.
Be productive for us.
Almost have to unplug it, and because it's
I don't think we,
in that system.
I don't think we can.
There's not a,
There you go, Tom.
Maybe it'll land by itself.
What if
Got it, Tom?
canceling?
There he is.
Echo.
He's got us.
okay, thank you.
Item 7, action on consent agenda. Would you guys like to take these individually? Would you like to combine any of these?
I don't see why we can't combine B, C, and D.
Which ones?
B, C, and D, the specials.
The resolution,
And even E, I guess, B, C, D, and E. It's the,
Why not A?
well, I think we should take that.
for some recognition.
Okay, gotcha.
Are you guys okay with that?
So B, C, and E together?
They are the special millage questions.
And this is just agreeing to what, Tim?
For those, it would be to direct the clerk to place that millage language on the ballot for those four.
For the four.
So we got 7,
Three.
4.
B, C, D, and E.
B through E. We've got 7B, resolution to submit to the electorate a special millage question for authorization of a countywide veterans millage renewal proposal. Item 7C, resolution to submit to the electorate a special millage question for authorization of a countywide public transit millage proposal. 7D, resolution to submit to the electorate a special millage question for authorization of a commission on aging millage proposal. 7E, resolution to submit the electorate a special millage question for authorization of an emergency medical service millage proposal.
I'm totally fine with combining them.
Is that a motion, Commissioner Wiltie?
I'll make a motion that we.
I'll approve, I'll support.
Support from Commissioner Simmons. Any further discussion? What's your roll call vote on these?
Craig Scott,
Yes.
Brenda Simmons.
Yes.
Charles Wiltie,
Yes.
Roger Mayhew,
Yes.
Jenny David.
Yes. Item 7A, resolution to appoint members to the Veterans Affairs Committee. This resolution is sponsored by the Veterans Affairs Committee and Veterans Affairs Director Jeff Nichols. The Board of Commissioners established a Veterans Affairs Committee as set forth in the County Department of Veterans Affairs Act. Committee members appointed by the board consist of 4 veterans appointed for terms of 4 years. Committee member Larry Boyce resigned from the committee effective on May 1st, 2024, and the term of committee member Mark DeBoer will expire on April 30th. Approval of the resolution will appoint Jay Weiss
Twice.
to the Veterans Affairs Committee for the unexpired term of Larry Boyce through April 30th, 2026, and reappoint Mark DeBoer to a term to expire on April 30th, 2028.
I'd like to make a motion. We appoint the members to the Veterans Affairs Committee.
I support.
Motion from Commissioner Wiltie, support from Commissioner Simmons. Any further discussion?
Mr. Nichols. let us
Jeff?
know.
I was just looking at Jeff.
I keep coming in the wrong door.
So, okay.
Jeff, do you have anything to add to this?
I just signed on, so I just got the end of it. So, no, I don't have anything unless you have any questions for me.
That. Sorry,
I'm
Jeff.
sorry- I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Do we have his cell phone? We can
Tom's.
call him?
There you
Oops.
go.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me?
Doesn't.
We can't hear you, Jeff. You got static. Do you have his number, Commissioner Scott?
I'll check here. No, I guess I don't.
Okay, we covered it last week. Introduced. I don't think that either individual is here, correct? I don't know either one of them.
Well, that's
Okay,
fine.
Jeff's giving us a thumbs up. Thanks, Jeff. All in favor, say yes.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item G, resolution to authorize adjustments to the fiscal year 2024 county budget.
I'll make the motion.
Let's read this because this has got funds. This resolution is sponsored by Administrator / Controller Timothy Delahoney. On September 28, 2023, the Board of Commissioners adopted Resolution 23-132 to approve general appropriations for fiscal year 2024. The Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act requires that local units of government periodically adjust the budget to reflect revised revenues and expenditure levels. Approval of the resolution will authorize and acknowledge general fund revenue increases of $142,150 and the expenditure increases of $183,811. The resolution also approves budget amendments for 37 special funds. Commissioner Simmons, did you make a motion?
To support, yeah.
You made the motion?
Yeah.
Do you have support?
I'll support.
Support from Commissioner Scott. Any further discussion? Commissioner Simmons, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, I don't. I think that between the treasurer and Tim, it's straight in my head. The figures matched and that's all I have to say about that. I don't want to go through that again.
You had some questions. We spoke. Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Charles Wiltie.
Yes.
Roger Mayhew,
Yes.
Jenny David.
Yes.
Craig Scott.
Yes.
Brenda Simmons.
Yes.
Item 7H, resolution to establish a budget calendar for fiscal year 2025. Would anybody like to entertain that motion?
Oh, I thought you were gonna read it.
No, we talked about that pretty much.
Okay.
I'll entertain the motion.
I'll support.
Motion from Commissioner Wiltie, support from Commissioner Scott.
I have a
No funds or anything here. Go ahead.
When you pick it, is it always gonna be the first Friday of every month?
Well, that's what we have listed. That's the budget committee meetings. That's what we have listed here, but that's fluid. I mean, you can change that.
Yeah, the first Monday of every month. I have an MSCA meeting. This month is, in May, it will be in Hale. And in June it'll be in Kirtland. And then July, no meeting. But in August, it's gonna be in Alpena. It's gonna be awful hard for me to get from the meeting on this 2nd of August to the budget committee meeting and up to Alpena. All in one morning. They have to be there by noon.
Can I make that statement?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Could we just for that one time, we have plenty of time to change the date. I'm sure we'll give everybody a heads up.
can we change it to the first?
As the committee chair, I mean, if you wanted to move those meetings to like the second Friday instead of the first Friday, we could do that.
Hold on a second.
Or you could adopt this and then we can bring an amended resolution, you know, later on.
Yeah, that's only one date you have to change, Commissioner Simmons?
So far, because this time, I mean, I can make it to Hale, but I have to make sure I leave because I have to be there at noon.
So do you want to amend it in the future when we get closer to that date?
I would just soon do what Mr. Dolahanty said and just make it the second Friday if we can.
That's okay with your board members?
I can make a point. I think that if we're gonna do that, we've had a pretty good consistent group come into the meetings. I think it'd be right to talk to them before we make that decision, just
All right.
kind of so quickly.
But not necessarily, I mean, I have to be there. You can just run the
I
meeting.
mean, I'd like you to be there, but if it just seems like it's one
Oh.
time, I think we could.
It's during the workday, correct? So it shouldn't be an issue. So when's your next budget meeting?
May 3rd.
Okay,
Third,
so-
and I had to be at Hale at noon. I should be able to make that without a problem.
Right.
yeah, and then discuss it with them if they're able to move it to the second, and then we can come back and amend this.
The only problem I'm gonna have so far, I think, is August.
Okay. So we'll make amendments if needed.
Okay,
Any further discussion? All in favor, say yes.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item 7I, resolution to accept a quote for portable bus wash system and to rescind resolution 24-43. This resolution is sponsored by the Transit Advisory Committee and Transit Director Ray Blamer. Ogemaw County Public Transit was awarded a grant from the Michigan Department of Transportation for the purchase of a portable bus wash system. On February 5th, 2024, a request for quotes was issued for the purchase and installation of a self-contained, completely direct drive, battery-operated portable bus wash system. On April 9th, 2024, the Board of Commissioners approved resolution 24-43 to accept the quote submitted by Interclean for a purchase and installation of a portable bus wash system. Upon further examination, Ogemaw Public Transit officials determined that the hydraulic system required to operate the Interclean product was not compatible with the wastewater system at the transit facility. but the Vitamec International System is compatible. Approval of the resolution will accept the quote submitted by Vitamec International for purchase and installation of the bus wash system at a total cost not to exceed $34,850 and to rescind resolution 24-43.
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Commissioner Simmons, support from Commissioner Mayhew, discussion. This is totally grant funded, correct?
100%.
Okay, so any other discussion? Roll call vote?
David,
Yes.
Craig Scott,
Yes.
Brenda Simmons.
Yes.
Charles Wiltie.
Yes.
Roger Mayhew.
Yes.
Claims, we have total of $219,812.39. I'll make a motion.
I second.
Support from Commissioner Mayhew, discussion. You and I reviewed claims and I just talked to Tracy about them. We've seen some things that we hadn't seen on there before. We've seen consumers, AT&T, DTE, Verizon. Apparently them are we will be seeing those moving forward. That was really it. There was some lawyer fees in there. Nothing else that really stuck out to us. Everything else was pretty.
The grounds.
Yeah, there were some invoices in there from Mr. Casey, some repairs I think we seen.
Yep.
There's some childcare in there. Any questions on those, guys?
No, I don't.
I don't have any questions.
Tim, did you have anything to add to that? I know Tracy said she talked to you about the consumers and DT and all that stuff.
Right. This is something she and I have been talking about for a while. There are certain bills that just for whatever reason, you haven't seen those in claims, and we're trying to get all of those so that you do see them all. It's just the proper way to do it. So it's just part of our ongoing cleanup to try to get everything in front of you that you need to see.
The consumers bills were pretty large.
Pretty impressive, yes.
Pretty large. That's what brought it to our attention. Like
So can I make a comment?
go ahead.
So with that being said, I know, one thing, we still had some ARPA money and, we started that conversation a while ago about having some consumers representatives were here, and I just think it's something that we don't wanna, let get too dusty. I think we wanna keep that in mind and keep looking into, possibly being able to make some moves to spend some of that ARPA money that could save the county, substantial money down in the future.
What was the deadline on that? There was a deadline, Tim. What was that?
For the ARPA money, the deadline to commit monies was at the end of this year, at the end of 24, and to actually have it spent is the end of 26. But we made a motion, there was a resolution passed to recognize the entire amount as lost revenue, which was allowed under the ARPA program. In fact, any community that received less than 10 million could do that. And part of this was the accounting issue that the federal government created for itself, wanting to have each small community submit these audit reports for their review. So when we did that, when we assigned this now as lost revenue, we met our obligations. So that met the 2024 deadline, it met the 2026 deadline. So what it is now is strictly at your discretion on how the rest of that balance is spent.
Because we've seen what the treasurer has done with that, and we've made a pretty nice interest on that.
Sure
So
have.
that's something to keep in our mind as well.
Yes.
Right, oh, absolutely. What's that balance again roughly?
I think you're 1.7 and change. Off the top of my head.
And there's not another 500 coming out of that.
There is.
That's what we have.
I mean,
We have one more, yes,
there's
this year.
one more this year that
Yes.
comes out, and then it's done.
You're talking about 2024, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, there is one more in this next upcoming budget year. So,
We'll still have the 1.7 left over,
no,
Well, I'll take it.
Minus the 500.
1.2?
yeah.
Okay.
Unfinished, claims. Any other questions on that? I apologize. Roll call vote?
Craig Scott,
Yes.
Brenda Simmons,
Yes.
Charles Wiltie,
Yes.
Roger Mayhew,
Yes.
Jenny David.
Yes. And just to add to that, with the conversation with Tracy as well, as making sure that the consumers DT is coming out of the proper departments as well, out of their budgets. So unfinished business, is there any? Commissioners?
No.
Administrator / controller report.
Okay, you might have noticed the written report is not in there. Try as I might, I just wasn't able to get it typed up, but I'll give you a rundown of what you will see. First of all, equalization was going through some routine review of their files and found some new land for us. The county actually was deeded on April 23rd, 1923, was deeded 1.16 acres in section 11 of Churchill Township. So that will be added to our list of properties across the county. I don't have a great deal more information than that. I have no idea why it was deeded to the county, but it's there. I saw the deed, so we'll add that to our properties list. Don't even know what's on that right now. I'm assuming it's vacant, but well,
You know where it is
yes,
specifically?
I do. In the deed, it's actually got it there all written down. So
A representative here from Churchill, do you have information on that?
Is it on the Rifle River where it's landlocked?
not sure.
I'll go to the meeting. We'll find out.
That's the.
Okay.
Was there a restriction? I'm sorry. Was there restrictions on the deed?
No, I saw no restrictions at all.
There'll be more information to come.
Yeah. This is kind of fresh information.
Interesting.
So, yeah. I do want to remind everyone that beginning next week with the committee of the whole, we're at 5:30. So we're on the 5:30 schedule moving forward. And just if anybody shows up at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, we'll break the bad news to them. So, Sheriff's Office posted today concern about a potentially fraudulent website that's using www.ogemawcountyjail.com and claims an affiliation with the Sheriff's Office. It is not. The Sheriff's Office can be found through our regular webpage, www.ocmi.us. So hopefully, that message will be spread and that we won't have any trouble with any kind of fraudulent activity. Michigan Association of Counties has answered the call from providers of substance abuse remediation who are concerned that not a lot of the opioid settlement money has gone out to the counties and some cities. And yet there's no reporting criteria. So there's no way to see who has spent how much money and where it was spent. And so MAC has decided to put out a voluntary survey to all the counties, which I've already answered on our behalf, just so that we can report annually what the counties have spent. And what they want to do then is tie that back, particularly to the Janssen and distributors settlement. You might recall something called Appendix E that had listed a number of things that the funds could be used for. We've only spent $10,000, and that was for the sting. Thank you. Last year, and it was specifically worded in that resolution how it tied back to the settlement funds. But that's it. So it was easy for us to report what we had. But I think this is a good thing. I've said it in a few webinars where the providers were involved in that. Comments continued to come up, and in fact, they were geared a lot of their criticism toward the state, which has received substantial amount of funding but had no reporting anywhere. And I think they've hopefully worked through their issues. The state committee, the opioid committee, asked the Department of Treasury to do this, and it created quite a bit of friction. So it was kind of interesting to watch that battle happen. And one agency not providing service to another was just no way to do business, but hopefully they'll get that worked out. But thanks to the leadership at MAC, I think the counties will be taken care of. Now, earlier in the agenda, you had a communication from the state court administrator concerning the issue of fines and assessments of courts. There was a bill that was due to expire, in fact, will expire, statute that will expire at the end of this month, that actually allowed the courts to assess fines and costs. But if that were to have expired, the courts were ready to, well, they could not collect. They would no longer have had the statutory authority to collect fines and fees. So the state court administrator was just advising the courts, if legislation isn't approved by the end of the month, then the counties would not receive that revenue, and that potentially could be a major issue for our budgeting. Well, fortunately, the House and Senate at the state level passed a bill out, House Bill 5392. It's now on the governor's desk. Does appear the governor will sign it by the end of the month, so we've skirted that problem. And so the courts will continue to assess their fines and costs, but there's another sunset. This bill will only allow this collection to happen through the end of 2026, at which time there needs to be another plan, or they'll have to, again, extend the sunset. This has been going on for, gosh, at least a good 5 or 6 years now. And it's all tied back to something you might recall called the Cunningham case. It's actually out of Alpena. So with the immediate issue, looks like it's been resolved, but the larger issue is concerning how we fund our courts and who's responsible for funding. Right now, the counties are responsible for funding a good chunk of what the court's costs are. We do get some funding from the state to help offset those costs. There was a trial court funding commission that was convened and issued a final report, I believe in 2019, that came up with some suggestions about court funding. And since, in effect, summarizing it, since they are state courts, that the state should fund the courts. It's a novel concept, right? So what this would do, or what this is forced, is now consideration of not only the funding issue, but how the courts go about their staffing levels. There's no uniform definition of what a court magistrate does or what a court clerk does. This funding commission report dives into all this, and one of the main participants was Judge Boyd. Actually was the Ingham County District Court at the time, but now he is the state court administrator, and he's championing this through the legislature. The reason why this is kind of a long story, but the reason why our fines and costs were not being acted upon by the legislature in part is that it was tie-barred to a bill that would sort of reorganize how the courts are funded and how they operate. There are legislators who believe that the legislators should be the ones determining fines and costs. The courts argue, and I tend to agree, is that, well, if the courts are responsible for creating their own funding, doesn't this just incentivize maybe excessive fees when they really shouldn't? And should the courts be in that position? And the answer is they shouldn't be. This report from the Funding Commission, you have on the Google Drive, you've got a folder called Information Items that's right underneath all those meeting folders that we have. In there, you'll see the Trial Court Funding Commission final report. If you want to dive into some of those ideas, it's there. That was a commission that was composed of quite a few people across the state with various interests in how the court system works, including counties who were well represented. Ultimately, this would be a very good move for us. It would take from our plate the funding issues that we deal with each year annually. You know, the state might do something like they do with the Indigent Defense Fund, provide grants to the counties to fund their courts. So in effect, it's just a pass-through at that point, and the courts are responsible for their budget. It would also remove from our plate the whole notion of having to bargain with their employees. That would be a state contract now. We would be out of the picture. And then, of course, the state would get its act in order, and they would say, well, this is what the definition of a magistrate is. This is what a court reporter does, right down the line, and have a very good set of job descriptions and something that would be consistent across the state. This is a pretty big ask, but it's very doable. I think the people are in place to make that happen. So hopefully by the end of 2026, we'll have a new structure for funding the courts and for management of the courts that will relieve us of some of the burden and some of the sometimes spirited conversations between funding priorities and so on that we no longer need to have, nor should we be involved in. It's a state court. So this could be a very good thing for us. So I'm sure there'll be more to come. Later, you'll hear from Transit Committee. We did complete interviews for Transit Director. We actually had the second round of interviews today. The committee did come up with a recommendation, and we will present that to you at the committee, the whole meeting next week. We have two very good candidates to come today, and it was a very good, I think maybe first world kind of problem to have when you have two very good candidates, and now we have to debate between which one would be a better fit for Ogemaw County. So I'm very excited about that. Last thing I'll report on, when we were at Goodard Township last week, I think it was, to talk about the Headley proposal, conversation was had actually ahead of the meeting, and Commissioner Mayhew was kind of on the receiving end of some rather loud conversation about a trailer at the Lupton Fire Department that the understanding was it was acquired through a county grant. Now, not really sure all of the details of this yet. This is a purchase and a transfer that was made probably 15 years ago, the way it looks right now. There's some concern about whether that property was transferred properly or not. I did talk to Mike Bowers immediately after the meeting, and then on Monday met with the South Branch Township Fire Chief and the Crystal Lake Fire Chief. Got a little bit more information on timetables and VIN numbers on the trailer, what it's used for. It's a trailer that they use right now. It's got an air compressor in it. They fill air tanks for the firefighters with it. No question that it's a needed piece of equipment, but the question was it properly transferred to the Lupton Fire Department? What complicates that is the Lupton Fire Department is one of 2 private fire departments in the state. Had it been a township fire department, then it's no problem, because then it's just a municipality to municipality transfer.
I see what this is
But
going.
this is worth untangling, so that'll be something that I'll work with Mike Bowers on. We got a pretty good idea of the target times, target dates. So Mike's gonna get a hold of his predecessor, who apparently has all the paperwork or the knowledge on the grants at the time. And of course, we have board minutes that I can now go through to see if there was a transfer. Just to make this a little bit more complicated, in the conversation on Monday, the road commission was also mentioned that this might have been a road commission asset at one time, in which case we'll have no record. But that still doesn't resolve the riddle of exactly how this trailer was acquired and how it got transferred. So that's a little fun thing to work on the side while I'm not doing board work.
Any questions for Tim?
I have none.
Elected officials and department head reports. Clerk?
Yep, Brett Gildner, your Ogemaw County Clerk. The filing deadline was Tuesday, 4 o'clock. So I am closed door, heads down, trying to get everything entered into the state website, so that I can get that all going. The one thing that I do want to make very clear to everybody, as you're out in your townships doing your meetings, July 18th is the deadline for candidates without political party affiliation to file their qualifying petitions and their affidavit of identity for the November general election. So if anybody wants to run non-party, they will be on the November ballot, and they need to file with the appropriate clerk by July 18th.
That means their name will be on the ballot.
Their name will be on the ballot. Yep. They'll just be no party affiliated. So that's all I have.
Treasurer?
Karen Peklowski, your Ogemaw County Treasurer. I wanted to let you be informed that in collaboration with the Equalization Department, the Treasurer's Office, this year, once again, we're providing Township Treasurer Training. It's going to be held here in the Annex Building on May 29th from 1 to 4, and our Treasurer's Office will be closed during that training time. I also have some more exciting land bank news. We juggled 2 projects this week, and by the end of this week, by Saturday, we'll have removed a blighted property in Prescott, a residential property, and we will have removed from the Rose Township area a commercial building. So 2 projects in 1 week.
Did that piece sell in Churchill Township that you guys just?
We have an offer
Oh, good.
under consideration.
Good.
So 3 projects in less than 4 months.
Good job. Nice
I have a
work.
question.
Great
Go
job.
ahead.
Yes? looks
Karen?
good. What a difference.
Karen,
Yes.
how do you seek demolition companies?
We put it out for bid. Tim helps with that.
Okay, so
process.
it's advertised in the paper,
We release it on the county
the
website.
county website.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
MSU?
Good evening. Don't step on my earring, that fell.
Oh, well, let me just get that for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Julie Darton, MSU Extension District Director, serving Ogemaw County. Last month I was here to give you a monthly report and I delegated my time to Phil so he could share some of his good work and I felt like that was a good representation of the work that we do. This week I've had the opportunity to travel on the university's dollar to go to a national conference in Fargo, North Dakota of other extension systems. There's an extension in every state. So this was an opportunity for me to meet with our colleagues, specifically from the north central region of the United States, so Midwestern states, and was really struck by connecting to the mission of extension. And so I'm excited always to talk to you about the work that we do, but really to talk about the ways in which extension fits in with our university system and bridges that to our local communities. So research creates knowledge in those university centers, and teaching happens with students in classrooms and also out in communities. And then we get to be present in communities with people who are applying that knowledge. And so just reconnecting with that, overall mission of our work and the importance of it was really renewing for me. And if you can believe it, I'm even more excited about the work that I get to do. So here in Ogemaw County, right now, just to keep you up to date on where we are, we have 4-H clubs that are active right now. Among those are a number of our livestock clubs that are youth involved with raising projects, swine, beef and dairy, poultry, young shepherds. They meet here in this room. This room, I was filling in for Stephanie because she was away on a planned medical leave. And so I was here to make sure that the young shepherds had everything they need. This room was filled with kids who are raising sheep and goats and really excited about it, and doing age-appropriate projects to explain what they're learning about the animals that they're raising and the care and feeding and the development of those as, kind of a micro business for them. And it's really heartening. It's really great. It's great to hear an 8-year-old and also like a 14-year-old talk about the nuances of the projects that they're doing and really growing an understanding of those projects. This room was host to the Lego Club, which was 5 to 8-year-olds who had a ball doing engineering projects that involved using Legos. And they really were very excited to be here. And I think it's a great thing that we can host that here in this annex building and connect with our office. They just really value the opportunity to learn. And let me tell you, we had great volunteers keeping those kids in all those clubs really focused and active. And I have not had a lot of experience with 5 to 8-year-olds, but they're being managed very well because they're overwhelming in a great way, a lot of energy. And then Stephanie, who's our 4-H program coordinator, has been working in partnership with the Ogemaw County Fair, communicating with clubs about expectations for youth that will be marketing those projects at the fair this year. And I think we have a really great line of communication with leadership at the fair board. We feel very positive about it. And I'm able to attend those meetings pretty regularly and make sure that we're doing the best we can to work in partnership with the folks that are doing a really hard work of putting on a great county fair here in Ogemaw. Phil talked a little bit about livestock health. Those concerns are, new information is coming to light nationally, information and the USDA and others who are interested in making sure livestock is as healthy as possible. So he is really on top of working with producers here and in the region to make sure that they have the things that they need so that they can keep their businesses going, but also, how that fits into our overall food system and making sure we have safe and secure production of food in our state and we export milk from this area, so making sure we're doing that work. Dorothy Munn has got a statewide appointment working on conflict resolution, risk management, policy development for 4-H programs. So even though she's here in Ogemaw County, her work is important to the entire state. She's really grown in her expertise. She and I were able to present at this conference around some issues around conflict resolution and helping staff from different extension systems be able to speak to issues of conflict through the values of our organization. We're really proud of the work that we're able to do with that. Couple of other highlights, some food safety updates. We'll be having a pressure canner testing available for the public. So people are using pressure canners. They need to make sure that those canners can maintain the amount of pressure they need to maintain so that food can be safely preserved. We'll be able to offer that right here in our office, and we have some training that's happening for staff to make sure that can happen. Julie Crick is a natural resources educator based in Roscommon County. She does tremendous work. She's reached out to tree trimmers in our whole region so that they understand how to properly trim oak trees so that they're not spreading oak wilt, which is a really damaging disease for those trees. And I know this region has a lot of oak forests, and we want to make sure those can maintain health. And then Alexander Clemens is our community nutrition instructor. She serves Ogemaw County as well as Roscommon and Aranac County. She is just completing a series with the Ogemaw County Alternative Education Academy, a program called Teen Cuisine, which teaches youth in middle and high school about healthy eating, the benefits of physical activity, the importance of that, how to manage food resources so they're not wasting food or money, and then also food safety and goal setting around their health and nutrition. So thank you for allowing me to share that. And I always am heartened to hear what you're talking about, and grateful that you're my audience for what I want to share with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Under Sheriff?
No reports, right?
I'm not, Jeff, do you have anything? I don't know.
Try it again.
You want to try again?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, perfect, Tom.
Let me unmute Jeff here for a second.
Okay. All right, Jeff, you're unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
You can, perfect.
All right. Yeah, I joined late, so I didn't get to hear anything. Appreciate you putting Jay Weiss and Mark DeBoer onto the committee for the upcoming 2 to 4 years for both of them. And probably the only thing I have as far as upcoming events is our Memorial Day parade. I talked to the city Wednesday, and it's looking like because of the construction that's going on, we're going to forego the parade this year. We're still going to hold our ceremony at the Veterans Memorial, but we're going to forego the parade due to construction, so they're not sure where they're going to be at that point in time. So that's about the only update I have. I also listened to the committee of the whole meeting last week. Unfortunately, I forgot about it and didn't attend it. Yes, it was my fault. I waited to the last minute, did not realize there was a cutoff date for reserving those rooms in Colorado. And yes, I shouldn't have waited so long. Normally I wouldn't do that, but unfortunately I didn't even realize it was coming up, and I got back from vacation. It's like, Jeff, have you reserved my room? It's like, no. And it was the last day to do it.
It got taken care of, correct?
Yes.
So far, yes. We still have to do his plane ticket yet, which is probably going to run anywhere between $400 to $700. It just depends on where he goes out of. There's it just varies because the flight arrangements, the price changes almost every day. But it's probably going to run $400 to $700 for a round trip ticket out to Colorado. We won't be doing a rental car. He's going to be bumping up with some other members from the UP as far as getting rides around the area, so we don't have to worry about a rental car there. I won't be going. That was only the cost of one person to go to meet the conference out there. It was like, I think it was $1,300 what the final figure came to. I don't have that figure in front of me, but roughly about $1,300. So that was the problem with the credit card. And my concern was, of course, if I had to pay that, I still had the conference pending out down at in Frankenmuth, which my credit card only had $195 left on the $1,000 balance for it. So, but the conferences, they're just one right after the other this year. So that's why it's kind of causing a problem with the charging.
We got that one taken care of, correct? All right. Thanks, Jeff. Denise, do you have anything? Did I miss Any elected officials or department heads? I think so. And our iPads, you guys, there is a report from the building and zoning and grounds and equalization. Any matters from the floor? Motions for adoption? Commissioners report. Commissioner Simmons?
I did a presentation to the Affluence Club this morning, and the other day I did one for Kiwanis, went very well.
Oh, good.
So there are some people now that understand, the people I've talked to have understood what's going on in my townships and stuff, so,
On the Headley, correct?
yeah. And also on the animal shelter services, because there was some confusion there. And I also spoke about the library, and also reminded everybody to turn the ballot over, because there may be something on the other side to vote on. So, yeah, so I've been spending most of my time on trying to educate people about what the proposals are all about, and to make sure that they do turn the ballot over. Because sometimes they don't.
Thank you. Thank you for your work. Commissioner Mayhew?
I went to one pretty laid back, not a lot of stuff going on, but Rule City's got a splash pad, May 23rd at 6 p.m. That's the big open, I guess,
Oh, so that's gonna be.
What day is that again?
That's up at the,
right behind the fire hall,
yeah, where the park is now. Is it connected to that?
just off the edge of it.
Okay, so you pull in the same driveway and it's right there?
Yep.
What
You'll
date is
see
that?
it.
May 8th?
Pardon?
What date did you say?
May 23rd.
Oh, May 20th.
That's free to the public, correct?
As far as I know, they didn't
Grant
say it
funded and-
cost.
But I mean,
Come and celebrate and open, new splash pad, hot dogs, chips, cookies and drinks.
Times? We have a time on that?
Every night.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
Yes.
maybe Commissioner Simmons would like to tell us about her photo op that she got
photo op.
Photo op.
at the airport there a couple weeks ago with the.
Oh, yeah, that was
Rapid.
really good.
Gee,
When they had that contest, I did get one good photo about the jet coming in and the smoke coming out of the back of it. It was really a cool picture. Showed several people, and it's like, but I didn't take that picture. It was done by oh, shoot. I can't think of his name now. Her office is in Traverse City, but we're both taking pictures, and she had a great picture. She got one great picture like that. And I was taking pictures, and all I got was air. So I'm glad she shared with me. I mean, that jet was moving very quickly.
Why was everybody out at the airport?
Yeah, a lot of fun out at the airport. Everybody watching that, the planes going, the
Why-
touch and go.
Why were they out there?
Experimental Aircraft Association.
And it was also a celebration about the airport.
Okay, that's what I was
About getting
looking for.
that,
I was
oh,
looking for.
shoot.
But you had a picture with the state rep and the state senators.
Yeah,
Oh, that's nothing, yeah.
I did. Well,
They were very impressed. I know they were.
Well, I was impressed.
Okay.
And I did share that with
Just trying to help.
I did share that with the newspaper.
Okay.
I shared those pictures in the newspaper, so everybody be able to see that in the near future. But it was a really nice ceremony. It was a great contest, and the pictures were great, and food was delicious. Thank you, Mr. Wiltsey. So all had a great time. Everybody had a great time.
Commissioner Scott, would you like to add to that?
Thank you.
I got there a little late, so.
Yes, you did.
I did get to see the jet though. Yeah, that's pretty impressive, I'll tell you. I attended a couple of different meetings, Ogemaw Township meeting. Ogemaw Township, as I reported before, they're gonna link up their water system with the city. So the pump station now won't be used, and they're looking at the possibility of making it a bulk water fill station. So for like well drillers and well, maybe somebody wants to hire a tank truck to fill a swimming pool or something, they'd be able to go over there and buy water. Yeah, bulk water.
Where's
Where's
that?
this at?
Say that one more time.
Township at the well site on Ski Park Road.
Oh,
They're linking their water system with the city
Yes.
through over on the west side of M30. And so in order to keep the pump station active, they're looking at a bulk water fill station.
Really?
Yeah,
What time frame, or is this just the beginning
yeah, it's just the beginning. We're taking,
talks of it?
just take a look at it. It'd be there'd be an automated kiosk there where you slide your credit
Yeah.
card in and buy thousands of gallons of water at a time.
Oh, how neat.
Yeah.
Really?
So, other than that, there wasn't a lot of stuff going on in township there. I went to the city West Branch. They had a council member resign and now have filled that spot. Lois Beardquest, right? And I think there's a good article in the paper now that we got somebody reporting. And so of course, the street project was a big topic also. And the airport meeting was a good meeting. And then I also went to the cookout for the experimental aircraft. Road Commission, Commissioner Wilson and I were there just the other day, matter of fact. They just renewed their insurance. Their liability insurance went up about 8%, and their mobile went up around 25%. So.
What about the
Cost more.
fundraiser for the deer park? What about the fundraiser for the deer park y'all had?
Oh, yeah, I'm getting to the Parks and Rec, yeah.
Oh, you're not done yet.
Haven't got there yet. But anyway, yeah, so Parks and Rec, our RV park is booked solid for June already. And I think probably the Little League tournament's probably doing that. We're constantly getting reservations for the rest of the year in. The deer park's going good. Of course, I reported the roof did get finished on the hall. Simmons Well Drilling been doing the well for the hall also. And then the 501c3 group had a fundraiser at the Clear Lake Bar for the park, and it went very well. I don't have any totals yet, but I think we sold about 20 plaques. That's $100 a piece.
Oh, wow.
So, and there was drawings, and there was a lot of people just donated money straight out.
Yeah.
Straight out. So it was very good. And I don't know how many meals they served, but they give us a good bunch of money for that. So
Those portions were huge.
so yeah, we're the RV park will be opening up May 1st. Just that the caretakers have given us notice the end of the year they'll be done. They're not gonna renew their contract with us, so we'll have to work something out when we get there. So that's about it.
Commissioner Wiltie?
Hang tight, I got a lot. I'll get through it quick. Opioid Settlement Committee, exciting stuff coming up next week. We have Brianna from Michigan State University coming here to Mills Township on the 28th. And then she'll be here in West Branch on the 29th. So we're gonna finally be able to start peer groups. We'll get together, start getting some of their surveys or questions answered, so we can compile that data and start seeing some of the real needs for the county residents. Housing, we've been aggressive the last 2 weeks with meetings each week. We're trying to just take advantage of the programs that are out there right now, and we're really trying to learn what exactly we can do and how we can take advantage of this, trying to reach out to some grant writers. I do have finally some positive news on our steering committee for the Northeast Housing Partnership. It does look like May 8th, we will have a face-to-face meeting with that. It's been something I've been working hard on because we've kind of seemed to lost support from our main kind of quarterback for that. And we're trying to figure out how we're going to get that back if there is that possibility. So housing is moving forward next month. Again, we're going to have 2 meetings. We're just taking this very, very seriously because we realize the importance of it, and we realize that time is now to try to take advantage of what we can. So hopefully maybe in June, we'll have a big meeting with contractors and any developers. And So more information for that to come, of course. Transit, as Tim said, we had a real exciting day today. Had two great candidates for the director position. Really looking forward to what this person is going to bring to the table as long as that moves forward with this individual. You know, a lot of good things going out there. The construction for the bus storage and wash bay, it's all closed in now other than the overhead doors. So that's really moving forward. It's good to see. You know, a lot of our constituents use that transit every day. June 1st, that new payment program, we're hoping to be launched on June 1st. We're gonna take the whole month of May to give out pamphlets and to educate the public on that switch. EDC, we had a company up in Rose City, a dog grooming company. They took advantage of the revolving loan fund and they had their grand opening. It's exciting stuff to see, you know, a new local business. And we have another business that's hopefully going to take advantage of that revolving loan fund, and we still have some money still available. So big thing with the EDC push is you guys have heard me say this. I mean, we're out there for everybody, small companies, large companies, companies that you're looking to be more efficient, productive. We can do it all for every township of the county. So we really want to make that known. We're here for the entire county. Mills Township, the big issue over there has been the library deal. They're still working on the ins and outs on that. It could go to possibly August. They may put a millage on for that, but due to a bunch of people raising money, they are going to be open on Tuesdays. So that is good. The only thing that's affecting right now is our kids, and that's not good. So we've got to get this figured out, but they will be open on Tuesdays. So that's a good deal. Tomorrow I have a meeting up in Crawford County at the Sheriff Department for the sting. We all know we have a drug issue here in the county, and we need to keep working hard with our partners to make sure we delete as much drugs as possible from the county and all the counties around us. I had a meeting last week with DHHS. Staffing levels are good. They appreciate our support. They do a lot of good things in the county. Commissioner Simmons talked about the Headley. We're finally starting to get some real good exposure with that. We did some short videos. You know, these are all funded by the Headley committee, so funded from outside sources. Videos have gotten online and starting to get out there because we need to educate. There's a lot of questions. These videos are getting a lot of exposure, which is good because it's just education on the facts. So we'll continue to move forward with that. MSU extension is really cool this past week. I served on an interview panel and we had 4 Ogemaw Heights high school students. And it was really great to see that some of these young kids that are really devoted to what they're doing, they got a good path, strong, powerful young children. That was really awesome to do that. These 4 are all really heading in a great direction. So I really enjoyed doing that. And I just got one more last thing. It's just something that I've seen in my short tenure here as commissioner. We have a huge problem in the county of involvement for public service. It seems like it's even gotten worse the 15 months I've been involved. I mean, you can see all these elected officials that have no one running against them. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's a ton of us that have no one running against us. I have no problem with someone running against me. And I'm just concerned moving forward, we need people to be involved, and we don't have a lot of involvement, period, anywhere. I don't know exactly what we can do about that, but it's a problem. And it's, we're working on the financial stability of the county. To go along with that, we need young, middle-aged, older people to get involved to help with the stability of our county as well. And we just don't have that. So I don't know what the answer is, but it's definitely something that I see, and I think it's getting worse. I'm done.
I attended Richland Township. Their campground is going to be up and running soon. Their campground over there is at Hardwood Lake. They're putting in they put in some more electric spots, I believe, this past year, and they're getting some bids on some sidewalks, doing some upgrades over there. 911, I attended that meeting as well. They are in the process of getting a new telephone system. Their staffing is at very minimal overtime right now. They're doing a very, very, very good job at managing their budget. It's a great board. Meetings are fairly short. They're very productive. learned a lot this past year on that board and I've enjoyed it. Opioid Settlement Committee, I attended that in person. Commissioner Wiltie gave a thorough report on that, so there definitely will be more information to come on that. Michigan Works attended that meeting as well this past month. They accepted some grant funding. They have an upcoming picnic they do annually for they do a summer picnic and then they do a Christmas party as well for their employees. That's upcoming next month in Gladwin at the state park. I don't think it's a state park, at their park over there, right in Gladwin. I attended that last year and some representatives will be there as well. They give out some awards. It's a really nice picnic. It's a really nice day. They also gave some raises to some employees over there for some longevity. Their budget is phenomenal. That board works very well together as well. We come together once a month. We meet in West Branch. I think that's it as well. And we did claims this week. I think that's it for me. And we start again next week, the first of the month. So anybody miss anything?
I just want to add, I don't think I said for my interview panel for 4-H,
Mhm.
that is through MSU Extension.
Mhm.
MSU Extension does a lot of great things. Thank you, Julie.
How many scholarships are you guys awarding this year?
I think we have funding to be able to award as many scholarships as we have applicants for. So I will double check on that and
Good,
get back to the board.
great.
Are these scholarships for further education?
Yes, for seniors that are participating in 4-H. My son,
High school senior.
my
not
son
seniors like
interviewed.
us.
My son interviewed yesterday. He said it was some tough questions. He was telling me them last night. So anyways. General public comment. Any general public comment in there? Sir, come on up.
Man, yeah, so-
I'm stand here, yes, that's okay.
No, Can you come on up here?
Come on
Give
up
us,
here.
Sure.
Commissioner Scott, we got this. Thanks for your help.
He came and asked,
Commissioner
he
Scott.
asked about
Took
it
notes.
before the
This is my
meeting.
first time doing this.
Oh, your name, please?
Frank Cass, I'm a resident of Hill Township.
Thanks for coming.
Of course, I come to Ogemaw County all the time, West Branch, and spend a lot of time here.
Did you say
So-
Castle?
Cass,
Cass,
C-A-S-S.
CASS?
yeah, correct.
You got 3 minutes, sir. You got the
Sure.
floor.
First comment, you mentioned the Ogemaw County Jail website didn't disclose that they're not affiliated. I just checked on their contact page. It does say they are not. It explicitly states they're not affiliated. Just to add that to record.
What's not, I didn't
What?
understand you. I'm sorry.
Kid made a comment, to the adult, Hanty made a comment about the Ogemaw County Jail website not being affiliated with the official ocmi.us website.
Okay,
And on their contact page, it does explicitly state that they're not affiliated,
okay.
just so if anyone's curious.
Thank you.
Yep. Second comment was about that, the aircraft you guys just mentioned, that sounded very interesting. I was just curious to know more about that event.
It was a ceremony that took place it was related to an award that the airport won, correct?
Yes.
Celebration of that?
You got an award from the state as well as the federal government also. And I meant to bring that with me tonight and it's sitting on my dining room table. But it was from the federal government and Representative Berg signed that. So it was really nice. And the airport manager asked me about that today when I was at the airport today too. And I said, oh, tonight's the night. And so I'm sorry I didn't bring it
Anything
with
else, sir?
Oh,
me.
Yeah, so the primary, thank you for sharing too. I'll definitely look into this, that you mentioned the award and everything. The primary reason I'm here is somebody posted on Facebook, by the name of Denny Turo, asking for somebody to represent the Ogemaw County Park, the disc golf park. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's off of Dam Road on the south side, southwest side rather. So I'm a local resident. I come to this park all the time. I actually drive up to 25 miles, just to go to that park, then over an hour to go to the Houghton Lake Park. So I drive way out of my way to go to this park once a week for this event. And I just have some comments about the park itself. So most parks by standard have T-pads, which are concrete slabs. This park does not have those, so I see that as an opportunity to improve it. Typically, there's leagues that are held at these events, or league events that are held at these parks weekly. That generates 20 to 30 people showing up every single week for these events. So it's an opportunity to get more business in the area. There's no pavilion there, so there's no meeting area. The ball court right next to it also doesn't really have anywhere for people to congregate, so it's just an opportunity for improvement there. Currently, the park has been sponsored in the past. I'm not sure if it's still actively being sponsored or if there's additional funds being allocated for it, but T-pads can be installed for about $200 to $400 each. So you're looking at roughly $7,000 to install AT&T pads. And with that, you can have a league group that would show up every single week. That could create more opportunity there for players that come play.
That's Ogemaw Rec.
Yeah, thank you. Is there anything else?
I have a lot more notes. I can submit them if that's the opportunity for that.
There is somebody with that park that's not, we're not affiliated with that. It's the Ogemaw Rec, you said? Is that who's doing that? Correct? I know there was some
You need to go to. West
conversation
Branch
back.
Township.
West Branch Township.
Well, it's really,
And that meeting is
It's
when?
Lucas that-
When is West Branch Township?
but West Branch Township doesn't take care of that. Ogemaw Rec does.
Okay.
Ogemaw Rec.
Well,
So it's Mr.
whenever their
Kevin
meeting
Lucas.
is, then
Well, we'll give
it's
you-
nothing to do with the county.
Do you have Tim's number, Tim's office number?
I can write it down.
Okay.
Trying to
He
find
can,
information
if you want to
online.
connect with him after the meeting,
Sure.
and then he'll give you the contact for that, but that would be great. Some great ideas. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Did that jump? Sir, did you have some public comment? Okay. Any public comment on the phone? Motion to adjourn? Adjourn. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Adjourned at 6:35.